is go a different direction and just give these young men an opportunity to share their experience. And let me begin by saying this, and I mean this from the depths of my heart. As a church, as family members to these young men, as residents in this community, every one of us should be extremely proud of these young men. Every one of us should be extremely proud of these young men. I mean, they conducted themselves like gentlemen. For the first time in traveling out of the country and going through the whole process of international travel and learning the nuances of that, there are some things that naturally that an adult wouldn't get initially. But they were able to navigate through it, and I just shudder to think the opportunities that we probably have missed as a church, and not affording others the same opportunities. And I made a commitment to the Lord while I was there. As long as I'm still alive and here, there will be others each year. Amen. Amen. With that being said, why don't we just begin? I'm going to say you for last. Start with to my right. Christian, why don't you share your experience? Share your experience.
Well, while I was in Brazil, it was very interesting, and I learned a lot, and I realized a lot. Some things I learned were like, as a us here, we are a rich country compared to like Brazil and other places, and like our version of poor is like their version of middle class, and like our rich here is like a little bit far and beyond their version of rich, and like going there and seeing the favelas have really made me realize how grateful towards my family and some things that I was. But now, after seeing all that, I'm very grateful for the things I have, all the people in my life, all my family, and I just really enjoy my life now, had I know how good I have it.
Amen. You good?
I pretty much agree with Christian. I mean, it was a good time. The favelas were, it's kind of scary because it was like so poor, and it was like I've never seen anything so poor. So it was like really much an eye opener. Like we're way more privileged than what we think we are, and we just gotta realize that it's good to go out and see a different side of the story and a different part of our culture that we never knew about. So it was a real good time. I had a good time.
Favelas, for those that don't know, what does that word mean?
Slums.
Favelas mean slums.
Real slums.
And we're not talking about Detroit slums. We're not talking about New York slums.
No, sir.
We're talking about slums that will baffle your mind to wonder how people are living
That's so true. Witness.
in those conditions. And yet, ministry happens.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen. One of the pastors there in the slum, and all the social projects that he has, and I'm going to share those with you. It was just amazing to see what God is doing even in slums. Amen.
I agree with DJ and Christian, but I have something to add on to it that like it comes from my heart. Okay, so the morning we went into the favelas, what really like grasped my heart was when we went into the daycare and I saw all these kids like they shouldn't have to grow up in that type of environment with the drug lords and the guns and all that violence. They should not have to go through any of that, but yet they were still happy. They were enjoying themselves. And thank God for all those volunteers that were in there helping them, cooking for them, taking care of them. Because I know it's hard for them, but they still have a smile on their face.
My Lord.
Just to add some context for that. Because we were with the pastor there, whom they respected, we were able to go. We were able to be there. We could not take pictures of any people there. The drug lords would not allow it. We could take pictures of buildings, landscape, but no people. As a matter of fact, the pastor had to say to one of the drug lords, that we were with him and that we were there to do ministry along with him. And he stood up there on the mountain. He probably was no more than 30. But he controlled that entire favela. And he told the pastor, show them. And we shook hands and walked back by him and went to, ironically, a daycare. 75 kids, I think they said they had there. And volunteers from other countries that were there as well, serving to minister to the kids there. They fed them, they showered them, bathed them. The kids were, as Rodney said, happy. They hugged us. I think DJ played a little soccer with a couple of them.
She's nice. She's real good.
Yeah. It's one of those experiences, and I have been there before, but no, you never get used to seeing that degree of poverty. And yet you see people who sacrifice everything to be there to help.
Listen.
This particular pastor said that God told him to leave his comfort and move there. That he was not going to be able to truly minister unless he lived among the people. He didn't. No, I want you to understand. This was not moving from the north side to the south side of Philadelphia.
All right.
This was moving to a war zone. Where initially the drug dealers did not even want it there. But because they saw what they were doing, they were able to stay there and do ministry there. And he's been there, he and his family, for years now. So those are the type of things that I think gives our kids a context to understand that when mama or daddy says, I can't afford a $200 pair of Jordans. Come on, help me somebody. And that there, as my grandmother used to say, there are kids in Africa starving, you better eat everything on that plate. They'll know exactly what it's like. Anything else, gentlemen? What?
No.
You know it was coming.
We're going to say that. We're going to say that. Here's the thing that was impressive to me. We at the first the church that night, I had told the guys, I said, okay, I want you to introduce yourselves to the congregation. I had to preach that night as well as that morning. And I want you to introduce yourselves to the congregation. 2 days?
Yeah.
2 days before. And that night came, and I stood up there and I introduced them and asked them to introduce themselves. And to watch these young men with 2 days read and write Portuguese, speak Portuguese, so that the people gave them a round of applause because they did it so well, was absolutely amazing.